Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Jimmy ROHMAD from the Indonesian Railway Polytechnic. Our respected guests, on this happy occasion, I will deliver a speech that we often discuss, namely a speech about the current Indonesian education issues and effective steps to resolve these problems. Today, I stand before you to discuss an issue that's very crucial for the future of our nation: education in Indonesia. Education is the main foundation in forming the next generation who are intelligent, moral, and competitive. However, the reality that we are facing today shows that our education system still faces various serious challenges. First, inequality in access and equality of education is still a major problem. Many remote areas in Indonesia do not have educational facilities. Damaged infrastructure, lack of educators, and minimal access to information technology are major obstacles to equal education. This is what I have also experienced. Even my school, which is located in the city, still has damaged and unusable infrastructure, broken blackboards, walls that are almost collapsing, broken fans, and many more. Second, the equality of teachers as the spearhead of education still needs to be improved. Lack of training, weak certification, and lack of initiatives to attract equality teachers can be detrimental to education. Teachers in Indonesia are very lacking in professionalism in their work. When they give me teaching materials, there are some who are playing with their cell phones. In addition, teachers are always late to class. Third, the curriculum that's not relevant to the needs of the times is a challenge in itself. There's a lot of criticism of the curriculum in Indonesia because it is considered inadequate and does not match the needs of the job market. The curriculum in Indonesia uses an old curriculum. There are no significant updates or improvement. Even if there is, it is definitely inconsistent and continues to change suddenly. That's what makes us students continue to be forced to adapt to new things that are not appreciated. Fourth, integrity in the world of education is also declining. Cheating practices are still rampant in 78% of schools and surprisingly in 98% of other schools. Starting from students who often cheat because of exam, teachers who are easily bribed to admit new students, grades that can be raised just by using money, and many more. Also all of the directly before of my eyes. Fifth, corruption in the management of education funds is a very concerning problem. 9.9 trillion laptop procurement scandal involving the Ministry of Education shows how serious this problem is. The Minister of Education never thought that the position he held was full of trust. He had also been sworn in, but he still had no fear at all. He never even considered God as God. He violated all of his commands. What a cruel human being. 6. Inconsistent and frequently changing education policies confuse educator and student. Since the reform era, various education programs have been launched, starting with for completely based curriculum (KBK), the 2013 curriculum to the independent curriculum. As I have said in the third point, the curriculum often changes and is not consistent at all. This is very time consuming and draining. 7. Excessive commercialization of education distance education from the values of social justice. Education should be the right of every citizen, not a commodity that can only be enjoyed by those who are financially capable. Education must be evenly distributed. 1. not only for the upper class. Children in the interior borders and remote areas have never received a decent education until now. This is very unfair and violates their rights, even though they are the children of the nation who must be educated. Distinguished guests, facing these challenges, strategic and sustainable steps are needed to improve our education system. 1. Equalization actions and quality of education. The government needs to increase the allocation of funds for the construction and renovation of schools in remote areas and ensure the availability of quality education throughout Indonesia. Second, improving teacher equality, improving teacher training, improving the certification system, and providing attractive incentive for teacher. Third, curriculum reform, revolutionizing the curriculum to ensure that students are trained with skills relevant to the modern world of work. Fourth, strengthening educational integrity, instilling character education from an early age and implementing a fair and transparent evaluation system to prevent fraudulent practice. Fifth, transparency and accountability of student fund management, implementing a strict monitoring system for the management of education funds to prevent corruption and budget misuse. 6. Consistency of education policy, establishing effective and sustainable education policies and informing stakeholders in the policy formulation process. 7. Maintaining the social value of education, restoring education as a basic right of every citizen and ensuring that education is capable to all levels of society without discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, education is a long-term investment that will determine the future of our nation. Therefore, let us together commit to improving the Indonesian education system in order to produce a generation that's intelligent, moral, and competitive. The easiest change is to start from yourself. Improve yourself, put positive things to your heart, and mind will make us a better person. I think that's enough from me. Hopefully, my speech can be motivation for all of us to take part in improving the education system in Indonesia. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.